Hey everyone, it's been a really long time. Let me go ahead and explain what's happening here. And this is just going to be a quick video. I'll start unleashing a bunch of videos sort of showing the different aspects of what we've been doing because we've been doing a lot. We realized at a certain point that calling and offering leads isn't where the market's really going right now. Where it's going is everybody wants in on new AI solutions. And as we started to offer up solutions, things would keep morphing really, really fast. And we discovered that, right? GPT would keep updating. Different tools would come out. They'd be competing with each other. And so in the end, we realized it's not about creating particular tools. It's about accomplishing a goal, but not as simple as let's get you more leads because everyone offers that. Companies are so numb to that pitch anymore. They just don't trust it. But what are they interested in and need badly? AI solutions. They need an AI department, outsourced AI department that they can just turn to and call in requests. What kind of things might they ask for? Well, as you know, they might ask for a live chat agent. They might ask for an outbound cold caller. They might ask for an incoming customer support tool. They might ask, and that would be an AI caller. They might ask for an assistant where they can just call it while they're traveling in their vehicle. Okay, and when they call their assistant, it could be different things that they want, like, hey, do the paralegal research over how this case that's affecting my client. What are the rules in this county? That kind of thing. Am I able to do this or not? Kind of thing. Do the research, send me an email with the results. And that is an AI paralegal who can get that figured out in a few minutes comprehensively and then send the summary report or the detailed report or whatever the guy was asking for. What else? You might want that kind of an assistant that can handle doing an estimate over the phone and then printing up a nice email to the guy and attaching the estimate as a PDF that applies to that person. You might want to be able to create websites on demand. You might want to be able to update websites on demand. We made this all work from phone calls to call an agent and ask for these things to happen. We made it possible to use AI to decide the domain names, to go check and see if we can buy within the right budget per domain name, the max amount, and to buy up to a certain number of domains, upload templates, and start creating contents, do all the SEO work on that, be able to do research on a schedule, you versus your competitors. And it's not about keywords anymore. It's about AI-driven content for AI-driven searches. We figured out how to automate social media posting. We figured out how to automate creating CMSs for independent affiliates or referrers or whoever it is you have in your business, agents, whatever. People sign up to your business to help you resell or whatever. We figured out how to create social media posts for them on the websites that they have. We even figured out how to start pulling templates down in minutes, just pretty much choose templates across the net. We'll pull them down and then we'll outfit them with our tools and then they'll suddenly be available for use. Now, this is insane. It means that so much stuff like, for instance, do you remember how difficult this was at website-installer.com? If you wanted to get the professional services, we had this digital command center package. Expensive, right? $2,500 a month or $25K a year. This used to be, hey, sign up, get access to the Google Drive files and the access to the other training. And what we'll do is walk you through how to use the massive, powerful tools that allow you to create the websites really fast and efficiently, right? What's happened now? Now, if you have this kind of a thing, just to point this out, I haven't even been focused on this yet, but you could have this and you could just be driving down the street and say, you know what? This guy just told me a great niche I never thought of, and he gave me an angle for it I never thought of. And you could literally make a phone call to your AI agent and tell it, I want you to create me 25 websites that are all decked out, topical authority, niche caps. You don't even need to explain it. Just say, this is what it's for. This is a company it represents. But I need you to find the domain names that are relevant to this thing, that are available, and buy them, 25 of them or whatever it is you want, and set up this project for me. Got any questions? And let the agent ask you some good questions to make sure it has solid confidence that it knows exactly what you want it to make. Then you hang up the phone. That's it. You know what it's going to do? It's going to go out, find good domain names, buy them. That's going to go into the server and create the cPanels. Then it's going to upload templates. It could even look up other templates that are quality and download them and upload them. That's a level of insanity I haven't even gotten into yet. And then it'll start generating all the images, and they're hot. And it'll start generating all the contents, and they're hot. And it'll put it out. Then it can create live chat agents for your websites to stick on there. And it can also it can also decide which of those topics are worthy of social media posting and go generate that. And if it matters, if there's something related to it, it could go and create like an affiliate system for the thing, so that anyone who's signing up through your program and paying you whatever it is you're charging can have one of those 25 websites, and the CMS can be for them. So the whole customer management system can be set up for them. And the cool thing is, they don't need to do anything because the system is already managing all their stuff. And then this system will automatically go and do research bi-weekly, figure out what you should do next that it hasn't thought of yet, what's changed out there, everything, and pivot and update pages on your website to compensate, add new pages on your website to get into new topics, figure out where to post up more posts and when and why, and even to the point where that independent actors in this can communicate with each other. So if somebody's talking to a live chat agent, this idea of being here in a box, and they're just talking in here, and the live chat agent discovers something that it didn't know how to answer or was unusual, okay, a couple of things. One, it can alert you however you want. Hey, you need to talk to this guy, or tell me how to. Okay, how do I address this? That's one. Another one is it can send a signal to another agent, sort of the manager agent of all the agents, to say, create new content on the websites about this new topic because I've been getting questions about this. It's obviously popular. So you know what? The manager will first tell the researcher to go do research on the topic, figure it out, then compare it to the competitors, see our pros and cons and strengths and weaknesses, then create a bunch of case studies, FAQs, and so on, and then start generating pages onto the sites and make them different, site by site by site. And then that's for you and your downline, say, if it was like 25 websites where you actually had a downline. And that's just if you want to, not that you need to, but it could be a second income stream for you. And that'll set up maybe notes into the new CMS for each of the guys that have to do with that, although probably it doesn't apply. But if it's new like that and it's worth it, then it'll actually create a social media post in each of the accounts for each of the guys in your downline, including you, your account, right? And if it's just your 25 websites, then yeah, I'll just set up all the social media post updates for all those social media accounts that you have for all those websites, right? Absolutely not. So they're all going to be written uniquely. Everything will be done originally. What else can we do now? We can auto-generate video testimonials. We can that are realistic, really realistic. We can auto-generate pitches that can go into Facebook and Google Ads and so on. So for scrolling through and thinking, wow, that's interesting, just short little quick pitches. We can generate B-roll that matches the upfront actors, AI actors' pitch. And we can do all of this automatically en masse. And that means that we can apply these things separately to every one of the websites. So it's all coming together. We still have all of these separate cords we have to tie together, so we have a lot of loose ends in the functionality. But as we've been putting it, it's kind of like this. as we keep creating each next bit of AI automation, it's kind of like watching Frankenstein lying on the table, and we finally get part of its limbs to move. This limb moves, that limb moves, fingers start to move, the arms move, the legs move, the head jerks. And pretty soon, this entire Frankenstein's going to sit up and hop off the table and walk, Our monster, we've been building a monster. So what I mean by that is all of these independent AI actions are being pulled together underneath a manager. And so there's a brain. What is that? The cerebrum, and then the motor action attached to the bottom of the brain, the cerebellum. Or am I getting them mixed? But I think you get the idea. So there's the AI agent that thinks smartly about everything, does the research, figures out what commands to give to this part, the motor action, which is really just the manager of all the AI agents involved in this. And then that manager will decide which agent to reach out to and what instructions to give it and in what order to get everything done. Okay? So when we're calling and pitching now, we're not pitching leads. What are we pitching? Get an outsourced AI department for a simple recurring fee. And we've got a couple of fee levels, right? So when people go paying, and we'll test them and modify them and add to them or whatever. If people pay on the lower level, they can have our ready out-of-the-box stuff. If they pay on the higher level, then they can get us to do some custom work for them as well. But the point is they'll be on subscription. So they're effectively renting an AI department instead of having to spend all the money to get people in-house to make one of their own. Okay, so it's cheaper to rent one, to outsource one. And the reason it's an AI department instead of a specific tool is so that we can just update everything for everyone by updating the system, right? Making sure we incorporate all the best stuff into this so that people can decide what they want. But here's why it's cool. Even if we got 1,000 guys to sign up in a single day, they can call in to the AI department that will ask them, it'll vet them, make sure it knows who they are and what level they're on and what they have the rights to. And then it'll start hooking them up with whichever things they want, and it can tell them what it's got on the shelf. And so literally somebody can call in and talk to AI and say, I need this. Someone else can call in and say, I need that. Someone else can call and say, I need that. That all goes into a queue. And the AI systems will create those things for those people. Very little human interaction here except whatever needs to get passed up to us. Bug fixes or things people are requesting where the system hasn't heard of it before and doesn't know if we're offering it. Whatever it is. But for most people, most things that they're going to want up front are quite obvious and quite normal. It's going to be things like an AI live chat agent, AI cold caller, AI customer support, a way to create invoices automatically, a way to send estimates automatically. We even worked with some companies where somebody goes and fills out a form on the website, and that form gets submitted to a system that evaluates and produces a response. And we made sure the response gets hooked into a place where our AI agent, who's on the phone with the guy at the time that the guy fills out the form, can see the output and talk to the guy about the guy's options. And can ask the guy, do you want to hear about the most elite option or the cheapest option or what? It can ask in a smart way. Are you more interested in value or quality? Whatever it is it's going to ask, right? Or comprehensiveness. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that's the reality check is all of this is about to happen at an AI level. Literally, we have AI agents that can create other AI agents that can compose emails and send them, attach PDFs, write the PDFs immediately before attaching them so that they're written uniquely for each guy. And our system tells people when they call in what they need to do to upload a file. Like somebody can call and go, hey, I've got a new thing, but in order for you to create it for me, I also need to be able to upload a file that you can study. And it can say, check your email, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. Check your email on file. we are sending you the link you need to be able to upload your documents. And then they can just upload the documents through that link. They can go to their email, click the link, see how to do it, upload the documents into their account. And that means they can call back and say, hey, I've uploaded all the documents that I care to. That's what you need. Go ahead and review them and then build the thing for me or incorporate it. Or here's some new document that applies to the live chat agents and the callers. Because guess what a guy can do now? He can call in and say, all right, listen up. We're running a sale this week only. 30% off through Sunday night, midnight Eastern time or whatever. And that way, the whole system can react. It can create updates onto the main pages of the websites about 30% off sale. It can also inform the live chat agents on all of those websites about the 30% off sale or whatever it is. It can inform the customer support about the 30% off sale so that it can be promoted better during calls. It can cold call about the 30% off sale or inform the cold callers about that being added in. What's really crazy is that we don't even necessarily have limits. We can create all this stuff to operate in totally different, totally unique languages that work around the world, and we can host the websites in these different languages. We haven't started to test that yet, but it won't be hard to figure out at this point. It's gotten to the point where all the stuff we need, if we don't know the answers, it's not hard to start compiling how to make that work. And so with our systems now, it's getting crazy. Pretty soon, we're going to be able to download templates and convert them and make them available in our system at this extraordinary rate. It's like converting one every 15 seconds if we were load balancing 20 at a time, then it's just doing like one every 15 seconds. Isn't that nuts? And to be able to just make your dream templates that way, or even use software to look up some of the best totally different templates out there used by your competitors in either a different niche or a different city, a different part of the nation, and you want that pulled down and converted, put up for you on one of your 25 websites, so you got 25 of these you want, you can literally call and say, I want you to find 25 of the best templates out there in Chicago, because we're doing this in San Diego. We don't want overlap that Google sees. And I want you to pull them down, change the colors to another color scheme that works for that industry, a good color scheme. So the color palette must work. And create it for this, with this emphasis and that angle and do's and don'ts and yeses and no's and got it? Yeah. Got it. We do all the plumbing services, but we don't do sump pump repair. But yes, we are emergency. We work on Saturdays, not Sundays. Otherwise, we're 24 hours a day, except for Sunday. We don't work on Sunday. So the system can actually go find 25 domain names to pull them down and upload them, create the cPanels for them on the servers. And then it can go and find some of the best templates, pull them down, convert them, and then put them up, and then start filling them all in appropriately by doing all the research necessary to decide what the angle should be, and then creating variations across those sites. Yeah, it's getting insanely crazy, and the amount of work has been nuts behind how to do that. Our VI system, what this thing is based on, has like 87 tools or something like that, right? Independent tools used for SEO. So we've been creating AI nodes for every one of those 87 tools so that we can create an actor that can operate each one and check the output. It's got to be able to collect whatever input it needs, pass it through, run it, check the output, see if it's good or if it's got errors, and if it needs to, go back, rerun whatever it needs to fix errors, and then check it again, rerun if necessary, right? If something's broke, it'll just let us know. We'll go in and fix it. But otherwise, when it gets that step done, it reports back to the, cerebellum, the little guy here, who goes, oh, okay, you did your part, so now you do your part, because you're up next. Because that had to happen first, now you're up. Yeah, so if you're comprehending what I'm saying, creating all those nodes is like putting, electrodes into the Frankenstein all through his entire body so that he can start to twitch everywhere, right? And then figuring out how to put actors at all the seats, figuring out the right process flow, figuring out how the manager is supposed to operate each of these things, figuring out how to be able to get the input and the output across all the sections of the system: social media, live chat agents, inbound callers, customer support, creating invoices, creating estimates, cold callers, trainers. We had this idea. You might have in an industry the technicians go out to the site and it might be some new techs and they may discover an issue that they've never seen before. They would normally have to call into the office, right? But they can just call the specialist AI who can literally tell them what they need to know, right? So that they can just do the job on the site right without having to waste a human's time to do it. Now, when we're offering this up to companies, one of the biggest problems we have is that the gatekeepers are thinking immediately AI solutions. That means cutting my job off. I don't want them to even think about that, right? Which isn't going to last very long anyway, because company owners are just paying more and more attention to AI. It's just no way out. But it does not mean that we have to cut out the humans anyway. The humans can absolutely use the AI tools that the company wants them to use. See, the legal guy might call the AI paralegal to do the research, but guess what? Does that mean that the AI paralegal got it right exactly? Not necessarily. Maybe it's the wrong angle, or it's missing something, or it hasn't done all of the sections that it should have. So what is this? This is the lawyer would still keep the lawyer's paralegal if the lawyer likes that paralegal. But that paralegal can now work so much faster and more efficiently and get so much more figured out that the lawyer can take on more jobs without needing more paralegals. No need to hire more paralegals to keep up. One paralegal can keep up with 5, 8, 10 times as much work now without breaking a sweat. Okay? So this is where we're at, and this is what we've been doing because it's meant to be a one-size-fits-all option or opportunity. It's you need to outsource an AI department, we're that. We're the right price or prices. We do all the stuff that normally you would have to rent all these tools to do to get your thing done. You would have to rent all the tools just to do the things you want. But if you outsource us, we've got the tools and we can do all those things you need, and then hand them to you finished for a fraction of the price that, and even the studying you would have to do to be able to handle that yourself, right? So it's very good to be able to offer an outsourced AI department. Our only real challenge is figuring out the best ways to explain it when we land at the gatekeeper so we don't get hung up on all the time in the first 10 words, right? But we're figuring that out. We've got need, greed, curiosity, and fear approaches, but then we also can contact company owners through LinkedIn. We also can go behind the scenes and get a hold of the guys behind the right desks by email, and then contact those guys around the gatekeepers to let them know what's going on. So we've just been putting all this together so that we can actually launch it in such a way that as soon as they want to start, they can make their payment, get their account information, and then call the AI department and start talking about what they want created. And as we create solutions for them, those solutions will save them time, save them money, and or lower errors that they have in their normal work by a lot. And so they get error-free work. That means no frustrated customers who got the bill and it was wrong, or the dimensions came out wrong. For whatever it was they ordered, like a shed for their backyard, and they wanted the table on the left, but somebody marked it on the right. The errors won't be there, hardly at all. And the amount of time they save, the amount of expansion they get to do, and the amount of money they save is so extraordinary that within the same day that they start a subscription, it's possible for them to have their very first ready-made solution off our shelf, but for them, that already will start saving them more than the subscription they're paying us. So this is huge because it allows us to split the monies with all the guys on Decrypt My Leads who are in the process for all those things, for getting leads and getting paid on leads, all that rollover. On the AI department, we're getting people intentionally on recurring payments, and they can upgrade whenever they want. And we have off-the-shelf solutions we're handing. We have more we're going to add and contact them about, and then we can offer upgrades. But the idea is, this is the plan for finally getting everyone paid. And this is finally a plan that doesn't change. Your outsourced AI department isn't a single concept. It's a, what do you need? We'll do it for you. And yet we get to let AI do 95% of that work so we can handle all that incoming demand. And if we get a lot of extra demand and we really do need a few hands in the works, we'll reach out and find some guys who will do, that kind of outsourcing for us, because we'll have so much intake that we'll be able to pull that off, right? We'll be able to grow with it really easily. All right. Just letting you know that that's where we're at, and that's what we've been up to, and it's insane. And I don't know, sooner or later, I'll sit down and start just showing you through demos of this stuff, because it's coming out. I'm starting to get demos of these things, and I'm starting to see how the one thing applies to the other and how to make these connections work. And we're just tying it all together, man. We want this Frankenstein to be able to sit up and walk. We pretty much got all of his limbs and head and eyes jiggling and opening and shutting and everything. We just need to finally tie it all together so he can get up and walk. And then, and then that's pretty much it. So we're already starting the marketing because we know we're going to be done within the next month anyway with all of that. So when people make payments, that's already okay. If they pay on the lower end, we tell them that they have to make 2 payments before they get to request custom stuff. Off-the-shelf stuff they'll get anyway. And then if they're paying at the upper end, of course, we'll start to take care of them right away. But if they're paying at the upper end, we can focus on them and take care of them and get more people involved if we need to handle certain projects. But most of what they want is what we're recommending to them that we can do. And it's stuff that we either have on the shelf now or will have on the shelf very soon. All right. Just wanted to show you because, we've been putting a lot of time and effort into it, but it's finally starting to really pay off in terms of having a plan that sticks, not something that Google messes with, not something that Reddit messes with, not something that will get outmoded by the next GPT version or the next Claude version or the next Cursor version or the next Manus version or GenSpark version or God knows what, Anthropic versus everything, right? Grok, all these things. And then Google Gemini in the background. And what image generation platform should you use? All these things are at a point where it doesn't matter because when they're running an AI department from us, when they're outsourcing an AI department from us, we're just keeping up with it and updating these things into our system as we go. Because that's gotten dramatically better and easier lately. And we can do it. We can keep up quickly and efficiently and push those updates through our systems so that whatever the best system to use is for any one thing, we can just shift to it real quick. It doesn't take much. So I love it because finally it's an answer that sticks. It can have roots. And so that's what's exciting. All right. It's been a long haul, but totally worth it. Okay. I will talk to you soon. Hope you guys are excited. Thumb the video up if you would. Just give me a chance to see that how many of you are paying attention, how many of you are interested in what we're doing here. Because, I've talked to some companies and they are so sold on this. All right, just so you know. All right, talk to you soon.